Welcome back to 2way Radio Shop's YouTube channel. My name's Neve and today's video is another installment in our Tech Talk series. Today's video is going to discuss 2way radio channels, their functions and then their significance when it comes to group calling communication. So this video will be perfect for anyone who's brand new to the world of 2way radios. The radio spectrum is a range of electromagnetic frequencies that are invisible to the naked eye. So a two-way radio channel is essentially a predetermined section of the radio spectrum. Think of all the different types of wireless communication that we use every day, like car radios, Bluetooth, mobile phones, Wi-Fi. Each type of these communication methods uses a different set of frequencies on the radio spectrum. The spectrum as a whole is essentially a range of possible vibration rates for radio waves. So lower frequencies are at one end and then higher frequencies are at the other. Just like how if we're on a big motorway, different lanes on the motorway for different purposes, like one lane's the fast lane, different frequency ranges are allocated to different communication types. A two-way radio is programmed to a specific set of channels or frequencies so that it can only transmit and receive within that frequency range. The term frequency as well refers to the rate at which a radio wave oscillates, and this is measured typically in hertz. 1 hertz means the wave completes one vibration cycle in 1 second, and that means like back and forth. Two-way radios operate in UHF or VHF frequencies. VHF means very high frequency, and this is for the frequency range between 30 megahertz and 300 megahertz. UHF means ultra high frequency, and this is normally between 400 megahertz and 470 megahertz. The frequency of a radio wave can affect its performance, so lower range frequencies like VHF, they travel further with few obstacles in the way, so they're great for communications outdoors over large areas, whereas higher frequencies like UHF can bounce around obstacles or penetrate them better, so we would typically recommend UHF for short range indoor communication. Understanding the difference between UHF and VHF helps us to recommend the right device for your needs. If you would like us to do a full video on this, we definitely can, but just let us know in the comments down below. Not to try and complicate things, but two-way radios come in UHF, VHF and then license free. So license free actually operates on a specific range of UHF frequencies that have been licence exempt by Ofcom within the UK. I think the frequency range for licence free in the UK is 446.0 to 446.2. I will put up a little table of the frequency on the screen now just so you can see them. So when it comes to communication channels, there's 3 main types. There's simplex, half duplex and full duplex. We don't really need to know a great deal about this, but I will go over the basics of each of them just so you have an understanding of which type two-way radios are, which they're half duplex, spoiler, and I'll tell you about the others just for your information. So simplex communication channels can only send information in one direction. An example of this would be like a radio station in your car if you're listening to TFM, Capital, Heart. We can hear what they're transmitting to us in our car, but we can't then respond back to the radio channel because it's just simplex communication. Half duplex, which is what two-way radios are, can send and receive communication in both directions, but not at the same time. So on a two-way radio, when you push the push to talk button, that turns on the transmitter, but it turns off the receiver. So when you're talking into your radio, the other person will be able to hear you, but you won't be able to hear anyone whilst you're pressing that button. And then full duplex can communicate in both directions at the same time, and this is more like mobile phone. So you can speak and hear at the same time because there's 2 communication paths. The simplest communication system is just called back-to-back, and this consists of normally just handhelds or maybe a vehicle mounted radio or a building mounted radio, all just communicating between each other without any added infrastructure or software. Back-to-back radio systems typically have between 7 and 16 channels, but this can vary depending on what kind of radio license you have. Licenses are provided by Ofcom within the UK, and there are a specific range of frequencies that you can communicate on. A basic license starts from £75 and it lasts for up to 5 years. To use any type of licensed radio within the UK, you must have a radio licence. If you are using them without a licence, you're using them illegally and you can get a hefty fine for this. So for the sake of £75 over 5 years, it's worth just getting the licence. Licensed radios as well are more powerful, so a typical UHF licensed radio might be like 4 watts, whereas a license-free one is going to be about 0.5 watts, and the more power means that you're going to be able to communicate over a larger distance or range. One of the main benefits of using two-way radios is called group calling, and that's when you can talk into the radio and loads of other people can hear it at the same time. For group calling to be able to happen, all of the radio users that want to communicate need to have their radios programmed to the same license, the same frequency, and then they all need to be on the same channel, so channel 4, 5, 6, whatever. And then one person will press the push to talk, and everyone that's on that channel programmed the same will be able to hear what that one person's saying, and that's called group calling. Group calling eliminates the need for individual calls, making communication instant and efficient. This is crucial when quick decisions and coordinated actions are essential, like in an emergency situation, for example. Two-way radios are great for group communication, but to maximise their effectiveness, we need to use proper channel selection and the proper radio etiquette. I'm going to list some of the basic radio etiquette rules to follow when using a two-way radio. First of all, you want to listen to the designated channel before pressing the push to talk button to prevent accidentally interrupting an already ongoing conversation on that channel. When you are delivering a message on a channel, you want to deliver that message in a clear and concise manner. And focus on delivering only essential information only and avoid unnecessary ramblings on the line. When using your two-way radio, always try and maintain a professional and respectful tone of voice, and try and refrain from using swear words or offensive language. Even though with a license your channels should be protective, you never know who's listening in. And also we would say to not put out any personal information over a radio, just because you don't know if there is anybody eavesdropping. And then once you've finished communicating something on the radio, always end the sentence with over, and this lets everyone else know that you finished speaking and that if they want to respond, they can respond now. So I'd be like, hi Radio 1, this is Neve speaking, are you hearing? Over. And then once I've said over, Radio 1 would know that they can now respond without interrupting me. I'm just going to quickly recap the top 5 things that I've spoke about in today's video. Number 1 is that channels are dedicated frequencies that stop radios interfering with each other. Each channel acts as its own conversation space. Number 2, radios operate on UHF or VHF frequencies. VHF, very high frequency, works better outside in an open area. UHF, ultra high frequency, works better indoors and can penetrate through objects better. Number 3, understanding channels is crucial for group communications. Everyone who wants to communicate with each other needs to be on the same channel to be able to hear each other. Number 4, radios operate on a half duplex communication method, which means that they can only transmit or receive one at a time. They can't do it at the same time. So you need to use proper radio etiquette to try and control this. especially using over at the end of the communication to let other people know that they can now transmit. Point 5 is that radios are great for group communications because it allows you to communicate with a group of people all at the same time instantly. This can help streamline operations, coordinate tasks easily, and can really save lives in an emergency situation. So that's it for today's video. This was just a quick one to go over some of the basics about channels and frequencies. As always, if you did enjoy the video, please give it a like. Subscribe to our channels if you want to see more two-way radio related content. We put out educational and sometimes entertaining content every other week. If there's anything else that you'd like to see us talk about on our channel, or if you'd like to talk about anything that we've mentioned in today's video, either leave a comment down below or you can contact us at the information on screen now. As always, thank you for watching and we will see you in the next video.